We got hacked. I can't believe it. We deployed multi-layer of defenses with different technologies, and we conducted several security assessments to check everything in the scope. Despite all of this, we still got a surprise visit from the attackers. Hi, I am Sam Slave from Nothing Cyber, and this is the first episode of Cyber Threat Hunting 101 series. Ready to dive into the cyber threat hunting from the scratch? You are in the right spot. Before we hunt threats, let's discuss a significant question. Why can't we have absolute protection against potential threats? Why is there no 100% security? The evolving threat landscape? The complexity of digital realms? Zero-day vulnerabilities and skillful attackers? Shall we point all the fingers at users? The list goes on, and I'm pretty sure you are all aware of them. So for now, let's give them a break and talk about three fundamental factors behind these issues. A magical triangle, a layer of Swiss cheese, and a scope X. This triangle looks familiar, right? The classic security, usability, and cost triangle. Striking the right balance between these factors is a constant challenge. Not too complicated, not too easy, and not too expensive. And I bet you know, we must always sacrifice one for the sake of the others. Picture this, a banking system. It must be secure and hassle-free. Users might get annoyed if the security gets too complicated. On the other hand, if the system is overly simplistic, we should be ready to face cyber attacks. We might balance these two, security and usability, with the good investment in technology, which means costs. Zero trust, defense in depth, they are not necessarily cheap and not necessarily user-friendly if they are not configured and implemented in the right way. Let's imagine we have a spell that can make the magic happen. Now we have a system which is secure, user-friendly, and not too expensive. Still, we need to deal with the next factor, a tasty Swiss cheese model. The Swiss cheese model, developed by psychologist and safety expert James Reason, explains why incidents and failures can still happen despite having many layers of defense. Think about the defense in-depth concept. Let's have multi-layer of the security in place to protect our digital wonderland. If a layer misses a cyber attack, the next one can still catch it, hopefully. But there is a catch. The Swiss cheese model says these layers might not be perfect, and they can have their own unique weaknesses or gaps. Sometimes, dedicated adversaries may discover a way to pass through these weaknesses and cause certain damages, often using approaches we had not anticipated. If these gap, weaknesses, and issues line up, like the holes in the slice of Swiss cheese aligning, it can create more severe incidents. And by the way, all the layers of defense become ineffective if an asset is not under their radar. That is called a scope X, the unknowns. Most security practices start by deciding what we need to assess. Some assets are critical to check, so we say they are in a scope. But there are others we don't include for a reason in the assessment. We call those out of a scope. Including the right assets in the scope is vital to ensure the overall cyber safety. Leaving out the things that we may think are less important could give attackers a way in. We should keep this in mind. Anyway, assets in a scope or out of a scope have one thing in common. They are all known to us. There is a third type of a scope called a scope X. A scope X refers to any unknown in an organization that we may not be fully aware of their risk or even their existence. I'm not talking only about shadow ITs. A scope X could be any unregistered, unattended, and unknown elements within people, process, and technology which might carry undiscovered threats. And you know what's the problem? We can't protect what we don't know. The unknowns can unleash unexpected stories. These are just few reasons why achieving absolute cyber protection is challenging. What to do? Say no to the technology and hide money under pillows? Or there are ways to handle the situation? Please leave your thoughts in the comments and let's discuss. See you soon in the part 2. Stay tuned.